Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host tonight, Rockin Robbie Bills. How is everybody doing? I want to throw out a mighty station and a pop, pop, boom to everybody up there in the room. And once you get here, let us know that you're here. Throw out a station, throw out a pop, pop, boom, throw out a greetings, a salutations, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. Let us know that you're here. Join the conversation. How is everybody doing? Hope you had a great week and a great weekend. I've had a pretty solid week. I've had a pretty solid weekend. Had a great day today. Went to my pool in my apartment complex. I've lived here for almost 5 years, right? Almost 5 years. I've never been to the pool. I've never gone to the pool. And then just randomly, some friends called me. They were like, hey, can we come crash your pool? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go crash the pool. It was fun. Haven't swam in years. That was great. Got some sun, ate some tacos, did some shopping. I bought some candles, peach-scented candles. And now we are here for Rockin Robbie Live. We got a great show planned for you tonight. We got Marvel in the 90s, and we got Show and Tell, and the DC sneak peek, all that and more. Because even though we have a grandiose plan, this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So once you get in here, let us know you're here. What do you want to chat about? What do you want to talk about? Throw it out, and we'll keep going. Check out the Pop Culture Philosophers shop over at Shopify. There's links in the description for that. When you're at dynamicforces.com, you can enter code Robbie and receive 10% off your purchase. You can get 10% off your purchase at BlackBox Comics when you enter code PCP10. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit for new accounts at the Whatnot link. All that stuff down below. But do be sure to check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRockinRobbie. You can support the channel over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there, and unlock exclusive content like a downloadable audio file of the weekly comic book review and the weekly pop culture wrap-up right before they drop, right? Basically, for the wrap-up, it's like a day before it drops. For the review, it's like a few hours before it drops. Anyway, the wrap-up came back this week. I was very happy to bring that back. It's been a month, but I think hopefully things are getting back into a rhythm. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling about life, y'all. I have a good feeling about your life too. So, how are you doing? What's up? Did I do all the plugs? Oh, you can also support the channel with the super chat, which we do not have an active super chat menu tonight. But I will be throwing out Hellboy songs and AMAs and all that kind of jam. What's coming up here at the channel? Well, I do want to point out that tomorrow, PCP movie night. We're in the middle of Crew's choice. It is Brooks's choice. It is his pick this week. And we did Once Upon a Time in the West. We'll be talking about that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. Before that, Scarpad and company will be talking about Aliens on Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. And I believe tonight they'll be talking about Shoot 'Em Up, which is a movie that we've been planning on covering here at PCP for a long time. For a long time. So anyway, Dylan's Horror Show this week, they're going to be talking about demons. So definitely want to check that out. That's a great movie by Lamberto Bava, Italian horror, produced by Dario Argento. And after you watch that show, be sure to check out the PCP movie night. We did Demons and Demons 2. And I do believe that was like Verno's first Italian horror was watching that. So we got Once Upon a Time in the West for Brooks's choice tomorrow night on PCP movie night. Before that, Aliens on Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. Tonight, Shoot 'Em Up on Scarpad's Domain. And Aliens, as I said, Demons over on Dylan's Horror Show. But our homies Brooks and Jelani just released their very first house tour for Go Figure Review. So definitely check that out if you can, if you haven't already. And if you have, shit, watch it again. Why not? Why not? Just watch it again. All right, let's see who's up in the room. We got Entropy in Comics. What is up, my man? GT Key Comics is in the house. How you doing? Ouroboros Snake Station. Rogue Collecting. What's good with you? AOUG, how you doing? Road Trip and Adventure Channel. Hi, how are you doing? Perry Station. Good to see you, Perry. Two Gun Pedro's in the house. Pew, 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 pew. Last time we did a Rockin Robbie Live, it was the start of my birthday week. Birthday week was incredibly successful. Probably one of my favorite birthday weeks ever. Average Comics Joe, what is up? What's up, Todd? What's up, Lars? CTA Frank is in the house. Jackson, Jack's Off is in the house. How you doing? Jack's on? Jack's off. I told y'all about that story, right? Last time we've seen this, I don't know if you're my homie from church back in the day, but that was the thing we did. There was this dude that showed up in Sunday school class one time. And yeah, man, you know, I was spiritual. I went to church. I was training to be a preacher, all that stuff. We've talked about that. We've covered all of that. However, I was also a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old at times. And this dude came in. His name was Jackson. And we kept going, Jackson, Jack's off. Jack's on, Jack's off. I don't know why. It was funny. We all jack off. It's no there's no shame in that, y'all. We don't have masturbatory shame here. He's had his Wheaties. Peppy he is. I am a little bit peppy. It was a good day today. Yep, pool day. I can't believe I've lived here for 5 years. I never went to that damn pool. That is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Perry says, I'm doing great. My gaming channel really starting to get some steam after months. Got me all jacked up. Hell yeah. Man Cave Theater, what is up, my man? What's up, Patrick? Hey, Yankees fan. Go Yankees. Swept the Reds. Robbie getting drunk tonight. No, Robbie's not getting drunk tonight. I'm drinking, but I ain't getting drunk. So no super chat menu tonight. Maybe I thought about it, but then I was like, we're not going to do it tonight. Can't do it every time. Can't believe someone hasn't snagged that signed Stegman King in Black #1 yet. What, on the Shopify account? Is it there? I'm going to throw a link out right now in the chat then. Is it there? Dum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, bum-bum-bum-bum. Yep, it's in there. $30. Ryan Stegman. Signed in silver, King in Black #1. I'll throw the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on that. It does help support the channel. Hey, Jim Mint, what is up? Station, how you doing? Haven't read any new comics in 2023. What am I missing out on? Wow, Jim. Have things changed? First of all, you're missing out right now on some really good DC books. DC's, of course, started their whole Dawn of DC stuff. Most of those books have been really good. Like, really good. So DC's doing solid. Image has got some solid books continuing, of course. Little Monsters just wrapped up. That was amazing. Let's see. There's a book called The Seasons Have Teeth from Boom Studios by Dan Waters. That's great. Rom V's killing it on Detective Comics right now. I'm loving what Alex Packnadel is doing in Carnage right now. He's taken over Carnage from Rom V. Over at Marvel, it's most the same, bro. Like, the Spider-Man book's not very good. They just keep introducing new Spider-Man characters. Nobody seems to care, or people seem to care, but, like, not really. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like this whole weird thing over there. But they got some good books. In fact, Punisher has been Marvel's best book for a while. It actually made my top 20 of favorite comics from last year. So Punisher's been great. Moon Knight's been solid. There's been some good stuff, but for the most part, Marvel's kind of down. DC's on the up, and the indies, though, always maintain. There's always good and bad from the indies because there's so much more. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, good to see you in the chat, bro. OUG wants to know, Perry, is it jacked up as in you're getting blitzed while gaming? Jacked up as in you're showing everyone the gum show? With Perry, it could be both, Carrie. And in fact, it probably is. Do, 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 do. You're welcome for the rundown, my friend. I hope you're doing well, man. I was hoping that you would be able to make it down to MegaCon. Got to hang out with Bueller again. Got to meet Tom. Hopefully me and Tom will do some collab stuff in the future. We were talking about it briefly. So everybody, tell Jim Mint what he's been missing in 2023 in comics right now. What are the comics of 2023 that you would recommend? Ice Cream Man, of course, as usual. A lot of the same usual stuff, Jim. But the DC stuff's been solid. Superman is really good right now. Venom, hey, what's up, Venom Spawn? Venom Spawn, two of the greatest 90s comic book characters there, Venom and Spawn. And from California, you say? Well, this is especially for you. California love. Bum 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 bum. California knows how to party. California knows how to party in the city. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrums. Okay, never mind. I'll stop. I'm sorry. Speaking of Cali, man, my Lakers getting their ass stomped by the Nuggets, right? That's fucking embarrassing. Luckily, I didn't bet anything on that series, but I did bet on the Heat and Celtics, and so far, so good. Oh, shit, they should be playing. Or about to start playing, right? Heat, Celtics. Heat's going to take it, man. There ain't no way the Lakers going to make it 4 in a row on the Nugs. Yep, starts in 15 minutes. If someone could keep us up to date on the Heat Celtics score, you know, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, we got Fable in the house. Station Fable, how you doing? Yes, it is funny. Jackson. I know. This is fucking immature over here, man. OUG says, I drink a bit and I drink a little. So I'm a little bit in the bag. Ariaga's in the house. I think I put another R in there. I didn't mean to. Hey, what's up, Empire? How you doing? Good to see ya. How long ago since it is that you stopped smoking cigarettes? I switched to vaping in like 2016, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. But then I started smoking again, so I would vape and I would still smoke, but I have not had a cigarette since May 10th, 2019. So, yeah. 4 years with no actual cigarettes. Now, last week I was smoking some rolled tobacco that had other stuff in it, you know. Excuse me while I lie my... Oh God, I got to take a lift. Oh, for reality, I just can't trip. That's why I'm staying with this riff. Take it easy. Easy skanking. All right, I'm glad to be back for Rockin Robbie Live. I know we don't have a super chat menu, so we're not going to be doing like shots and like chugging beers and smoking spliffs and shit, but we'll, I hope y'all still have fun. OUG says, the seasons have teeth. If I am on the monthly comic review, I shall present Exhibit B. How's Vigil? Vigil is awesome. Fable. It's a Rom V book in the spirit of Planetary. It's good. The cool thing about that one is that, so when we had Rom on the show last time, the art wasn't finalized. So he didn't have like a PDF to send me. Because sometimes, usually if we have someone on, they'll send us like their newest work so we can check it out. We can talk about it. Well, Rom didn't have that available, right? So instead, he sent me his pitch for the book. And he sent me the entire first script. And he sent me the art that was available, the rough stuff, and he sent me other things. But I got to read one of Rom V's scripts, which was awesome. Now, reading it in, the actual form, that was great too. But reading his script, man, it was awesome. And reading that pitch, he's got a hell of a pitch for this. And it's going to go into a place that's going to be really cool. Sometimes being a reviewer, being a YouTuber, being a retailer, I get early access to certain information. And it kills me when I can't tell y'all. But for instance, like there's something that I found out today that I'm very excited about. And I wish I could tell you. I wish I could, and I can't. Anyway. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city of LA. City in the city. Anyway, we're going to move on here. Evil Face Bad, what is up? Yeah, game on soon. Ouroboros says, my heat gonna take it all. I agree. Jimmy Butler's gonna take it all. It's crazy watching that dude. Scarpad's in the house, says, Station Mofos, I'm always in the back. Mark McGrath is in the house. Hey, I just want to fly. What you want, what you really would. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Two of the most influential series of modern comics are finally, after decades, reaching the finish line. The Maxi Mortal and the Miracle Man. Mark, I just got the newest Maxi Mortal, the Boy Immortal or whatever, Volume 4. I just got that. I haven't read any of the newest stuff, though. I've only read Maxi Mortal and Brat Pack, but I've never read is it Boy Maxi Mortal or Boy Immortal? I'm sure it's Boy Max, whatever. I have the 4 volumes of that. We got a Ghost Rider recommendation. Evil Face Bad, I have not seen Dungeons and Dragons yet, so I don't have any thoughts on it, unfortunately. What's up, Easy Reader? We got Bobby De La Ghetto in the house saying, hit the like button. That would be cool to read his stuff and his direction and the stuff in the script. Yes, and in his script, he also puts a lot of, like, reference materials, like links to stuff. Images. Stuff like that. Yeah, Boy Maxi Mortal, that's what it is. I have the 4 volumes of that, because 4 just came out. Dynamite and OUG says that the D&D movie was great. Average Comics Joe says, which is better in your opinion, today's indie comics or 80s Marvel and DC? Ooh. Well, I will say this. Let me think about this. Marvel and DC in the 80s. We got John Byrne's Fantastic Four. We got John Byrne on X-Men. We got John Byrne on everything. We got John Byrne on Superman. We got Frank Miller doing Batman stuff. We got Alan Moore doing Watchmen. Got Frank Miller on Daredevil. Chris Claremont on X-Men. Rob Liefeld on New Mutants. That's really in the 90s, actually. I'm going to say today's indie comics. And the reason why I say that is this. Because I think the indie comics of the 80s are better than the Marvel and DC books of the 80s. In fact, I think indie comics are better than Marvel and DC. I don't know if y'all don't know that about me or not, but that is kind of how I flow and vibe. And there's nothing wrong with mainstream comics. I love mainstream comics. I love superheroes. I love all that shit. But there is something very special about taking a singular or a not so plural voice or voices and getting that story and those visuals straight to the page. And I think that in independent comics today, there are more original ideas. Now, I'm not saying everything is great, but not everything was great for Marvel and DC in the 80s. But indie comics today, I like better than the Marvel and DC stuff of the 80s. I will say that. Though DC's got some stuff, especially if we're going to open it up to the 90s, we add in Vertigo. My favorite era of comics is the 90s. And it's the Vertigo stuff, really. It's stuff like Transmetropolitan, stuff like The Invisibles, stuff like Preacher, stuff like Sandman. That's my bread and butter. That's what I'm super, super into. And today, the indie scene is up and down. However, a lot of it is the inevitable aftermath of the Vertigo wave and the British invasion that happened right before that, right? So, yeah, let's say that. Sound good? Indie for story, big 2 for art, says Figure Drawing. Yeah, George Perez on Wonder Woman. You're right. Lars says, finally read almost all of this year's free comic book day issues. Still haven't read any for myself. And the only one I'm not going to read is Tom Scioli's I Am Stan, and I like Scioli. Why are you not going to read that one? That's curious. Marvel had a great independent imprint in the 1980s, the Epic line. I know, Rick Veitch's The One was published under the Epic line, which was amazing. Mark McGrath says, I read the preview for The Vigil, and I didn't care for it. Gave issue number 1 a try and liked it much better. Felt like Kupperberg Checkmate. Not remotely on the same level as Planetary, though. That first issue is not going to give you that vibe. I'll tell you that. The first issue is not going to give you that vibe. But the intent of that series is to be a spiritual successor to Planetary. And for a 6-issue run, it's going to have a rather ambitious ending. Yeah, I haven't read any of the free comic book day stuff still. Ariaga says, saw an interview with James Gunn where he said that Into the Spider-Verse is the best comic book movie ever done. That movie wouldn't even make my top 10. What do you think? I really like Into the Spider-Verse. I do. But when we start talking about favorites of all time, there's a lot of different things that go into consideration when you're thinking about that. When you saw the movie, your time and your place, the context of things, right? Sometimes we have attachments. Now, I like to go favorites over best. When we do top 5s, top 10s, or when we rate movies, we're not trying to be super critical, even though we like to play the game like, oh, I'm going to be a critic tonight. You know, we like to play that game, but what we're talking about is personal enjoyment. We're talking about of that moment. We're talking about favorites. We're not talking about, we can be critical, but we can also not be overly critical, right? So that being said, I like Into the Spider-Verse, but it's going to be hard for Into the Spider-Verse to top a lot of comic book movies for me, including a lot of the Batman stuff, like the Christopher Nolan stuff in particular, and even Batman Returns and maybe the first Tim Burton Batman. The first Superman movie, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3. It would not be in my top 10 either. But I respect James Gunn and his opinion. A lot of people have that opinion, and I don't think it's a bad opinion. I think it's fine. But it would not be in my top 10 either. But I do like it. I like it a lot. The Introspect M says, I'm hoping Vigil will be good. I have 2 and 3 on pre-order, but I haven't been able to pick up number 1 yet. OUG says, hands down, favorite comic book movie is The Crow. What are your thoughts on Tank Girl comics? Just bought a short box of original singles for a fair price. I don't have any thoughts. I would like to read the original Jamie Hewlett stuff, but I don't have it, and I don't have access to it. Now, I do have a trade paperback called Total Tank Girl that I picked up because it has work from Jim Mahfood in it. I flipped through it, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't really have an opinion. I do remember not liking the movie. I'll tell you that, when I was a kid. So you let me know what you think, Joe. When it comes to who you side with when it comes to Kirby and Ditko versus Stan Lee, I really do not like Lee. Lars, I feel you 100%. I'm right there with you. And it's not a popular opinion. However, Tom Scioli knows what he's doing, so I'm really interested to see his approach. Now, I haven't read the Free Comic Book Day bit yet, but I'm really interested because he is such a mark for Kirby, and he understands Stan Lee. So we'll see. Yeah, it is hard to find Tank Girl stuff. I wish they would have the original Hewlett stuff in print. They had it a while ago, but then not for much longer. Should I pick up the free comic that had Vigil in it? Yes, you should, Fable, because it collects the bits from Lazarus Planet that introduce Vigil, Spirit World, and City Boy. We'll be talking about City Boy in the DC sneak peek. Ouroboros Snake says, Watchmen is probably my favorite comic book movie. What's my favorite comic book movie? Batman Begins, Blade. Batman Begins, Blade. X-Men 2. What else? Iron Man. Iron Man's all right. Not a Fantastic Four movie, I'll tell you that. Road to Perdition's good. We were talking about that Monday night. Or maybe Friday. I don't remember. Eric is in the house. What is up? OUG got a hardcover that was a colorized Tank Girl, but it was a bit costly. Okay. Man of Steel's a good one. Man of Steel's good. I like Superman Returns. Unpopular opinion, I know. All right. Show's getting kicked off, so let's really kick it off with your... First 5. All right, we've been going through the Marvel Masterpieces, but I didn't get that set up. So what we're doing is we're going to open up a pack of the Mark Spears monster cards. Mark Spears, super cool dude. We're going to open these up. We're going to take a look at the first 5 to come out of the pack. First up, this dude, Dr. Creepy. How freaking cool is that? Mark's a super cool dude. Oh, look at this one. This is Alucard. It's Dracula spelled backwards. Then we got Dracula. Oh, and another Dracula about to get some dinner. And then we got It Lives. Dr. Frankenstein, basically. Pretty freaking cool. So tonight's first 5 brought to you by Mark Spears. Mark Spears, thank you for tonight's. First 5. All right, there's a bunch of cards in here, too. So what's up? How's everybody talking? How's everybody talking? What do you want to talk about? How's everybody doing? Daredevil ending and starting with a new number 1 a month later bugs me. That's just, unfortunately, the way of the comic book industry right now. It's just how it is. It's how it's been. It's how it's going to continue to be because issue number 1s do unfortunately sell. It gives them a quick little bump up before it tanks back down again. They have to relaunch again. But whatever. I I don't like it either. I like the consistency of the numbering system. To be honest, I don't really care. For instance, Fantastic Four has gone through like 5, 6, 7 different number ones or something like that. And it doesn't matter because to me, I still have like almost 700 issues consecutively of Fantastic Four. Like, and I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that. To me, it doesn't matter if it says issue 55 if I know that it's issue 650 or whatever it is, right? So I don't mind about that. What it kind of does bother me is trade paperbacks and collections and shit like that. Like, it's... First of all, like, Marvel doesn't like to keep their trades in stock. DC doesn't like to put the volume numbers on them anymore. They want everything to be standalone, but like that's where it really starts kind of getting to me, is the graphic novel collections. But yeah, everything is pretty much a limited series now. And yes, OUG, Daredevil is ending in August. Chip Zdarsky's run is ending, and then Saladin Ahmed's coming in with a new number 1. Same thing with Thor. Thor's about to end and start with Immortal Thor. At least they get a new adjective for Thor. Lars says, one of my favorite comic book movies is Immortal, directed by Inky Bilal and based on the Nikopol trilogy. Bad CGI, but a brilliant story. Oh, I'm not familiar with that at all. Yeah, Mark's art is great. Joe says, I am worried about the Disney Plus documentary on Stan Lee. I feel they will water down the negative side he was accused of. I'm certain that they will. Bobby says, I love the Fantastic Four movies, but I also love the Inhumans TV show. Bobby, I don't know if you're being honest or if you're trolling, but either way, this bud's for you, my friend. See, Mark says, Stan Lee definitely had his faults. I remember watching the Stan Lee interview in search of Steve Ditko, and the man just can't admit Steve helped create Spider-Man, showed how his mind worked. Yeah, there was... Because you always hear about this stuff, right? And I'm a big Kirby head. Y'all know that. And one day, I was listening to a radio interview that Jack Kirby was doing on his birthday in the 80s, like 1988 or something like that. And somebody had put it on YouTube, and they were talking to Jack Kirby on his birthday, and he started talking about things like, I co-wrote a lot of those Fantastic Four stories. I would write things in the margin, and they wound up dialogue, but, blah, 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 blah. And Stan Lee felt the need to call in, and he was acting like, I figured I wanted to call in because it's Jack's birthday, and I hear him talking all this stuff. And basically what happens is he comes in there to try to tell the audience that Jack Kirby's lying, right? And they wind up in a little bit of a tiff. And Kirby, feels, from his voice, feels very hurt. And Stan kept saying, you never wrote a single word. You never wrote a single word. He said that to this man on his birthday. This comic book legend who's being interviewed on the radio in New York for his birthday, Stan Lee feels the need to call in, to basically call him a liar publicly. And what's funny about that is we have original art from Kirby, from Fantastic Four pages, and in his handwriting is some of the dialogue that's used. So wait a second. Who actually was lying? Stan Lee was lying. Maybe he misremembered. No. Stan Lee at one point took credit for creating Captain America. In a book, it's there. It's like, what is it? The Son of the Origins of Marvel Comics or something like that, right? He basically tries to take credit for creating Captain America. No, Jack Kirby, Joe Simon created Captain America. Stan Lee was a shrewd businessman and kind of a piece of shit, y'all. Okay? But the man helped make Marvel Comics. The problem is some people around him, including Kirby, thought that they would be taken care of, and they weren't. Batman fighting Darth Vader, who wins? Let's be honest, it's Darth Vader, man. I get it, but let's be honest. Anyone else pick up the tomorrow's artist edition of Kirby and Gerber's Destroyer Duck? No, the graphite edition. I have it pre-ordered. It's at my shop, but I haven't been able to pick it up yet. I got a new car last month, so I got a new car payment, which sucks. And that's coming up, and so is rent. So if anybody wants to throw out a super chat, they're welcome. How about Captain America's symbol and Sentinel being lumped together so that they could hit the legacy number of 750? That really bugs me. Oh, so they split Symbol of Truth and Sentinel of Liberty, but they're acting like they're both. Oh, that's ridiculous. I like that, OUG. Want to really throw people for a loop? Call it Ordinary Thor. Ryan P. with a good point. That's why I love omnibuses. They usually map them so I don't have to think about a reading order. Oh, was Damien in here? So should we prepare for Thor and the Thanos big payoff that Donnie set up to be swept under the rug? Yes. Yes. Donnie's gone. He's gone. I don't know where. Nobody knows where he's at. He's gone. Oh, somebody's talking about Damien. Sweet Mimosa says, DC still puts the volume numbers big on the back of the trades, which I actually prefer. I like the uniformity of the shelf without the numbers. Okay, you're right about that. They do put it on the back. Yeah, the artist editions prove that false, Mark. Yeah, I mean, I have always, who doesn't grow up reading Marvel comics, watching Marvel TV shows and cartoons and not love Stan Lee? And when I started, in my early 20s, like which would be the early 2000s, is when I started learning more of the story, right? And man, that just listening to that newspaper or the radio program, the interview, really just soured my opinion on Stan for a while. And I understand and respect his place, but that's why there's even there's a clip from a Rockin Robbie Live that we did, 2 years ago or something, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. I clipped it out. It's called Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby or something, and I got pretty passionate about it. But I got this book that they put together. I'm gonna say it was Tomorrow Publishing put it together, and it was it's called Stan Lee, Jack Kirby Stuff Said, and all it is just quotes from the beginning to the end. Just quotes. There's no commentary. There's no speculation. There's nothing. None of that. It's just quotes from the people. Stan's story changes all the fucking time. Kirby's stays the same. Say what you will. All that to be said, all of that to say this. Stan Lee is monumental to the success of Marvel. But we need to give people like Jack Kirby the credit that they deserve. He never got to see that in his life. And it's just sad. Lars says, watch Kevin Smith's Mallrats, where he talks about how he created Spider-Man, not mentioning Ditko at all. Also read the last Kirby interview with the Comics Journal. Oh, how was that, Lars? I don't think I've ever read that. Stan did that after his blood transfusion with Bob Kane. What's up, John Stout? What's up, Frank Frog? Sheba versus She-Hulk. Who's Sheba? You mean Sheena? Who's Sheba? You talking about from Mortal Kombat? That's Shiva. That's actually Shiva, Robbie. Come on. Have not played the new Zelda. First of all, I'm not a Zelda fan, and I don't play a lot of new games. Mark says, Kirby, who I adore, could also be mean-spirited. Funky Flashman, a clear parody of Lee, wasn't exactly taking the high road. Yeah, but that happened later, right? I mean, that was in the 70s. But no, you're right. I like it because Funky Flashman, that's hilarious to me. Because that is him just throwing shade at Stan Lee, man. Absolutely. Dynamite says Donnie Cates vanished. I hope Donnie's doing okay, too. I've heard a lot of those rumors as well. The Introspectum says Stan Lee clearly had a jerk side, but everyone does or did at some point in their life. His contribution to the success of comics, including the writers and artists, is significant. BJ says, Robbie, what was your motivation to start this channel? I almost died, had a spiritual reawakening, and out of that, I decided that I wanted to build a community where we shared an insightful, positive love of pop culture, and thus here we are. Fable says, sucks it didn't work out with those two, but we got Marvel out of that relationship, so I'll always respect the both of them. What are some good DC books to jump on right now? I've been out for over a year and going to start catching up on Action Comics and The Flash. Well, Superman is a good one to catch up on. It's on issue 4 right now because they rebooted that. But it's Josh Williamson, Jamal Campbell, Nick Dragata a little bit. It's awesome. Superman's awesome. Green Arrow's good. Green Lantern's first issue was solid. That's a good jumping on point. Titans just launched. The Tom Taylor Nightwing run, if you can get caught up on that, is really good. Doom Patrol right now is absolutely splendid from DC. So yeah, I would recommend Doom Patrol. I would recommend The Vigil. I would recommend Superman. I would recommend Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Detective Comics. If you can get caught up from the beginning of Ram V's run, I think you'll enjoy it. Chip Zdarsky's first arc on Batman was awesome. His second arc was okay, but had a very strong ending. So there you go. OG says Batman is going to start a new arc with the next issue and do Patrol for reals. Lars says, in the interview, Kirby talks about when he first comes into the offices, the furniture is being repossessed and Lee is sitting on an office chair crying. Interesting. Comic Boom says DC Night Terrors appears to be a derivative premise, but the variant covers for the event are gorgeous. I plan on getting all of the Midnight variants. I haven't actually looked at any of those Midnight variants. Speaking of DC, it's time, y'all. It's time for your DC sneak peek. All right, so we got a new one out this week, City Boy. City Boy #1. This is the third of 3 new miniseries launching for Asian Pacific Islander Appreciation Month, which is May. And these are Asian American or Asian characters by Asian American or Asian creators, right? We had The Vigil with Ram V. We had Spirit World with Alyssa Wong, I believe. This is Greg Pak on City Boy and Minikyu Young and Sunny Gao. This was a pretty decent book. It was all right. It was a really solid first issue. It's a kid. It's this dude. He's got powers. His powers are kind of like Jack Hawksmoor-y in a way, but they're very much on the early side of that, if that makes sense, right? So he's not like fully developed in his powers, but we're getting that story. We're getting his frustrations. There's structurally some interesting things happening in this first issue. I didn't really like Spirit World #1, loved Vigil #1. This one's kind of sitting right there in the middle, just kind of all right. Then we got Action Comics here with issue number 1055. I've been loving Action Comics. This one was a little bit more of a stiffer issue. We're dealing with the return of Cyborg Superman. They're definitely playing on some of the nostalgia bait from the death of Superman, which was like 30 years ago. So you got the Eradicator, you got Steel in here, you Superboy, and I appreciate that stuff. The artwork's cool. It has a lot of action, but it has a lot of like words that kind of like hold it back just a little bit, and other issues of this haven't done that. The Dan Jurgens Lee Weeks story is awesome, and the Steel story at the back is just kind of okay. Then we got Nightwing, issue 104. Yeah, issue 104. This wraps up the whole Neuron story. Neuron gives Nightwing powers for like 2 hours. Hey, you want to change the world? Here's Superman's powers. Go do it. So he's dealing with that. He has a conversation with Superman. It was all right. It was a little bit cheesy, but there's a lot of interesting stuff here that's set up that's going to be developed in the pages of Titans. So that was a pretty solid issue. Then we got Green Arrow issue number 2. Green Arrow is supposedly dead after the events of Dark Crisis, but in fact, he's being flung across different realities, times, places, events, all kinds of stuff like that, right? So I like this book. Josh Williamson is doing a great job of focusing on the family aspect of Green Arrow, the Arrow family. Legacy is a big deal to Dawn of DC, and it's coming across very well in the pages of Green Arrow. My only nitpick with this is that the coloring, there's nothing wrong with the coloring. I think it's the printing, but the printing on this book is just really kind of washed out, and what should be a little bit more dynamic and kinetic is kind of muted down because I feel like it's printing. Then we got Justice Society of America issue number 4. This is like a 10. This is a miniseries. I can't remember. Jeff Johns doing Justice Society again. You know we're going to love it, and I am loving it. Mikkel Hanen's artwork is good. It's a little too spacious, a little bit lacking in the backgrounds, and that's fine. But on the big, boisterous bits, like the figures are too small, and there's too much open space, kind of like Kenneth Rocafort sometimes, where there's just too much negative space that just feels like you're kind of cheating out and just kind of taking a shortcut. So art is good, it's crisp, it's clean, but it's just not the best. But the story is really good. Helena Wayne, the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, is in the future. There's a JSA enemy who destroys the JSA in the future and now is trying to destroy each iteration of the Justice League or the Justice Society going back in time. Helena Wayne's flung through time trying to solve it all. So it's a really cool story. And then my favorite DC book that I read this week was Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue number 3. This book has been great. Dennis Culver is able to cultivate that weird, eccentric vibe and flow that the Doom Patrol should have. This should be strange. This should be absurd. This should be a little weird. And that's what it is. Chris Burnham's artwork is absolutely phenomenal. It's great. This is much in line with the spirit of Morrison, Pollock, Way, and even more. Doom Patrol, unstoppable they are, even though this is a 7-issue series now. It says 6, but it got bumped up to 7. I couldn't be happier. Just make it an ongoing book, because this is one of DC's best books. 3 issues in, and it has not disappointed. And that was your DC Sneak Peek. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Marvel in the 90s here on Rockin Robbie Live.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live, hosted by me, Rockin Robbie Live. How is everybody doing? Welcome back. We just got finished with the DC sneak peek. Coming up, we got Marvel in the 90s, a little bit of birthday show and tell, all of that and more. Though this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your concerns. What do you want to talk about? Get it in right now. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP or with Super Chat here tonight, which will trigger a Hellboy song, which I haven't gotten to do yet. I've sang California Love. I've sang Fly by Sugar Ray. I've sang other things, but I haven't sang that. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can follow me at Twitter at the Rockin Robbie and find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. Now, do check out Go Figure Review's very first house tour. Brooks and Jelani had a very cool experience with a house that actually has an actual damn spaceship in it. So you definitely want to check that out. Tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night for Crew's Choice, Brooks has picked Once Upon a Time in the West. That's going to be a great one. Before that, or should I say after that on Saturday, join Dylan's Horror Show for Demons. And before Once Upon a Time in the West on Monday, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about aliens. And tonight on Scarpad's channel, they'll be talking about Shoot 'em Up. We now pause for station identification. All right, so how is everybody doing? Hope you had a good break. Let's take a look at what people were saying. Going up in the chats. Going down what you know. Ouroboros Snake says, every new DC reader's got to try World's Finest. Thank you for reminding me of that one, Ouroboros. World's Finest has been really good. Felt a bit overstuffed at first, but it's really ironed itself out. Oh, and Wonder Woman's getting a new renumbering and a new creative team with the new story in August. Yes, Wonder Woman by Tom King and Daniel Samperi, I think. I've heard that they're supposed to be like she's got a kid or something now. I don't know. We'll see. I like Tom King on miniseries sometimes, and it seems like I don't really like him on ongoing titles, but we'll see what happens. That being said, I loved Human Target. Loved it. What about City Boy? Is it any good? It was all right. It was pretty solid. Dairy Bandit says, Hot Girl, Steelworks, Power Girl, and Cyborg. I am eating well as a fan. John Stout says, I liked The Vigil. Me too. Mark says, Superman and Green Lantern are probably very enjoyable for newer readers of the characters or DC, but somewhat frustrating for longtime readers. Still good, but just a little off. Life is Good says, DC has more checks than X's for the first time in years, waiting on the other shoe to drop, though. Well, let's just enjoy the checks as they come in, right? Dynamite says, my LCS gets their DC titles a week late, so unfortunately so do I. That's crazy. Oh, they're buying them through Diamond. Ah, that's the problem. JSA is ongoing, apparently. It's not what it reads to me when I do my orders, but it reads as something. Nothing's ongoing anymore, though. Let's be honest. Boom, boom, doom, doom, but day. Yeah, they never let it. It's okay. Yeah, according to Lunar, it's 12 issues. 12 issues. Feel like we have skipped a couple months with JSA. Yes, we have. It's been late. Wish Doom Patrol wasn't ongoing. Geesh, yeah, me too. Nice to see Power Girls twins on the JSA cover. I wonder what you're referring to. OUG says, I'm kind of liking this whole Guy Gardner renaissance. Bobby De La Ghetto loves him some Doom Patrol. Bat Jesus says, been reading Batman Incorporated because of your high praise of it, and hot damn, it is so good. Art and story is top-notch. Definitely a DC banger station. Bat Jesus, thank you so much for reminding me of that one. Batman Incorporated is a very undersung and underappreciated DC book right now. It is so freaking good. Joe says, Doom Patrol has been fun. I just wish it could find its own identity and not be part of a random X-Men book. A parody of a random X-Men book. What's funny is this, Joe. X-Men is a Marvel response to Doom Patrol. X-Men was the Marvel response to Doom Patrol. So whenever we get these comparisons that it's just like an X-Men book, well, the X-Men are actually more like a Doom Patrol book, historically speaking. Dynamite wants to know, did anyone read Danny Ketch Ghost Rider? I did. I thought it was all right. It tried to catch that vibe and flavor of the 90s stuff, and it did it somewhat successfully, but for the most part, it kind of fell flat for me. Todd says, I read Danny Ketch and it was very disappointing. Honestly, it was a chore to get through, very lazy writing. Well, don't hold back. BJ wants to know, what will you do if comics stop coming? I guess make my own. There will always be comics. Lars says, except from series written by Tom King, a few Black Label series I get the most out of Sandman Universe titles. I got you, okay. I really like Josh Williamson's Rogues. I thought Rogues was really good. Yeah, Tom King's taking over Wonder Woman. We need more fighting combat comics like TMNT versus Street Fighter. You should check out Arcade King, just released from Dylan Burnett and Image Comics. Who do you think is Wonder Woman's child's father? I don't know. Steve, maybe? Who knows? Who cares? Mixius Pitalik? Oh, that'd be fun. Batmite. That would be even more exciting, I think. What will they do with Wonder Woman's baby when the series ends? Who knows? Could survive like Jonathan Kent. Could get aged up. Could be like Damian. I don't know. If Batman and Superman have kids, why not Wonder Woman, I guess? Mark, that's hilarious. Say Tom King into a mirror 3 times and another member of the Giffen de Mateus JLI gets destroyed. Yeah, if you really like that combat arcade style, Arcade Kings is dope. How does Wonder Woman forget she has a child? So dumb. Some kind of magic spell, I'm sure. Sweet Mimosa says, I try to be charitable with King. He's done some good stuff, but even as someone who doesn't read much Wonder Woman, I'm feeling for Wonder Woman fans. Why can't Marvel bring back horror in a magazine form? Well, if you're itching for that, I would recommend that you check out this book called Vampiris Carmilla. It's done by Warrant Publishing. They do a book called Shudder, and I think they have one called Creeps, maybe, or they did, but they have one it's like Vampiris Carmilla, and it's a good magazine format for like horror stuff. The Wonder Woman child is a flash forward thing. Oh, so it's like Lost in the second half. And then they're going to flash sideways, and then they're going to be all just waiting at a church. Spoilers. Tom King's Vision miniseries is phenomenal. I agree, Ryan. I also think his Mr. Miracle is phenomenal. I think his Omega Men is phenomenal. I think his Human Target is phenomenal. But then certain things like Rorschach, certain things like Batman Killing Time, certain things like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, grinds the shit out of my gears. But his Vision series is really good. One thing about Tom King is that he works with some of the best artists in the business. Oh, and Heroes in Crisis. Blech. I hated that. I still haven't read Sheriff of Babylon, Mike. I hear it's really good, but I haven't read it yet. Also, in the new Batman Brave and the Bold, it's anchored by a Tom King year 2-ish Batman story with Mitch Garrett's on the artwork, and it was really good. It was really good. Hey, what's up, Jelani? Wonder Woman has a kid? Crazy. Stational. Speaking of Jelani, as I've mentioned before twice, Go Figure Reviews has their first house tour out right now. You definitely want to check out where this image came from and why. Check it out on Go Figure Reviews. Do you like that plug, Jelani? That's for you. That's just for you, my favorite homie. Year 1 story. It's more like a year 2 story, right? It's more like a year 2 story because year 1 ends with him finding out about the Joker. So I think, to me, the beginning of year 2 is the Joker. Because year 1 ends with Gordon being like, some new guy, calls himself the Joker. It says he's going to poison the Gotham Reservoir. So there you go. And it retails part of Batman 1 from the 1940 whole Claridge Diamond thing. Yes, it does. Absolutely. But Batman number 1 is not year 1. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Fable. You're so kind. Keep killing them, my friend. Station. Thank you. We're rusty. Let's do it. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who had a sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil in monsters. Shit. Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz. And an ectoplasmic mess named you. All right. Thank you so much, Fable, for the super chat. We really do appreciate it. And thank you, Noir Wolf, Props for not pronouncing it Mitch Gerards. You're welcome. Thank you. Jonathan Fife is here. I think there is another issue of Excellent next week for you, Robbie. Well, thank you so much. Excellent's one of my favorites. I'm a huge mark for Mike Allred and Laura Allred and The Excellent with Pete Milligan. I love it. So thank you. I wonder if he will keep up with the continuation with that other story in Batman 1 or if he will go in a different route. Yeah, we'll have to see on that one, OUG. Am I reading any Star Wars books? No. I try and I just can't get into them. Like, I like Star Wars as much as anybody else, but like, I'm not super into Star Wars. Like, I don't read excessive Star Wars books and this and that. Like, I watch the movies here and there, like every so often. I like Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but I fall out of the comics pretty quick. I'm a much bigger Star Trek fan, and I don't even read all the Star Trek comics. Licensed comics are not always my favorites. And if I'm not enjoying something, I won't read it. I'll just stop reading it. Unless it's like Spider-Man and I'm just trying to keep up with it and bitch about it because it's a bit. You know, the bitch bit. Sweet Mimosa says, I'm guessing that they are trying to guess who the father is, that trying to guess who the father will be a big part of the reading the series, and then it's just revealed that she's made of clay. Sweet Mimosa, I'm going to tell you this. If I was the editor at DC, and you came to me and you're like, hey, we're going to do this whole thing. We're going to build up this child of Wonder Woman. She doesn't even remember that she had, right? And we're going to finally get everybody to figure out who's the father, who's the kid, what's the identity, and we're going to reveal at the end, she's made of clay, or they're made of clay, and sacrifice herself or get washed away or something. I'd be like, fuck, let's do it. Let's do it. I would approve that. Unless you're Tom King, probably. We need an official studio recording of that song. Yeah, we do. Hey, what's up, Bob? We got Bob from Everything Comics in the house. What is up, my man? How you doing? Long time no see. Hey, we got Mike in the house. What's up, Mike? I just want y'all to know something about Mike06. Mike06 is one of my absolute best friends. And don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. I love that dude. That dude loves me. We have been friends for decades at this point. He's always had my back. He always gives me amazing gifts. He's always there for support. And me and Mike had a really good, long, personal conversation yesterday about some things that were going on in my life. And Mike was nothing but supportive and encouraging. Mike, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you. Hey, we got Brandon in the house. What's up, Brandon? How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. It would be cool if they revealed the daughter was sculpted from clay. I think we just spoiled Tom King's whole fucking run, because that seems like a Tom King thing to do as well. Sweet Mimosa says, the 2015 Star Wars Marvel launch was a great jumping on point for me as a kid. Some great books came out of that. Hell yeah. Bruce Wayne is Wonder Woman's daughter's father. I doubt it. Bruce can't keep up with Selena. How he's going to keep up with Diana? Come on. Ryan says, the current Vader run is really good. Star Wars main title isn't so great, and honestly, the art sometimes sucks on it. Brandon says, just read World Tree #1. Tynan's going hardcore with this one. Definitely looking forward to more. Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how hardcore they kind of took that. Not just in concept, but in content as well. Speaking of Star Wars books, OUG says, my boyfriend's main complaint of the comics is that they have spent too much time with the stuff between Empire and Return of the Jedi. Sweet Mimosa says Charles Soule's Darth Vader run is a great self-contained story too. That one got too whiny over Padme for me. Mike is the salt of the earth. And if you threw a party. Yeah, the kid is actually Clayface. Is Mark Brooks on an active series? He's going to be in my LCS next month. I want to get a blank cover. He's not on an active series. He's mostly a cover artist nowadays. Most recently, he had some amazing stuff on Spawn. Enacty6 says, I only have Star Wars Darth Vader on my pull list, and it's the occasional anniversary cover. The Empire Stormtrooper cover next month is lit. I don't know who's blocking all these comments, but stop. Who's blocking any comments? I'm not seeing any comments blocked. I don't see. Any thoughts on Cy Spurrier taking over Flash? I know people really like Adam's run, but I love Spurrier's Hellblazer so much. I think Cy Spurrier is a really solid writer. He's verbose. So sometimes it's hard for me to follow through on a Spurrier book. However, didn't he do Alienated? Alienated was so strong. The ending was just okay, but the rest of the book was so strong. His Hellblazer run's good. His run on The Dreaming was phenomenal. And he just did one that I adored. Damn Them All. Loved Damn Them All. So I'm excited for a metaphysical Wally West Flash book by Mike Deodato Jr. and Simon Spurrier, where he's traveling through the multiverse and other realities, and it's like got this metaphysical approach to it. I'm excited for that. And I have read Flash 800, and I know the setup for their run. And Mike Deodato Jr. is doing some of his new tricks, where he basically just he does a layout, but the way he composes it with all those little lines, it's probably just digital, the gridding effect or whatever, but it actually works. It actually really works on this Flash run. Hey, what's up, Jay? Station to the award-winning Rockin Robbie and the chat. Hoping you get your present before your next birthday. Well, yeah, me too, yeah. I haven't gotten it yet, Jay, but I hope so. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Somebody just made me think of this. Award-winning Rockin Robbie, that's right. We won Best Comic Book Review last year on the CBC Awards, Comic Book Community Awards. Nominations are open for the 2023 CBC Awards. I need you to vote for me. So I just threw the link in the description below. And right now, voting's not an option, but nominating is. So you go in there, you fill out the form, and you nominate channels in different categories. I would ask you to consider me for Best Channel. I would ask you to consider me for Lifetime Achievement. I would ask you to consider me definitely for Best Comic Book Review, and I want to repeat. I want to defend this championship and win it back. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Then I would also really, really appreciated it if you nominated me, because they have a categories like Best Hair, Beard, Hands, whatnot. I would really appreciate just a nod for Best Hair. Just saying. That would be dope. That would be cool. That would be awesome. You don't have to, but, But definitely Best Comic Book Review and Best Collaboration with the Best Comics of the Month. I want to win that award, because if I win that, then Manny wins, Nick wins, Carrie wins, Greg wins, Brian wins, Joe wins. You get what I'm saying? Can I get a bowl of Frankenberry right now? Jonathan, if you were here, you could, because I got an unopened box of Frankenberry right there. Right there. Unopened box, still good, ready to go. The Dairy Bandit says, I really like Spurrier. Wish he was on Barry instead, though. I can feel that. What's up, Trade Paper Dad? Eric says, Spurrier on Flash is going to get weird. Good weird, though. Not sure. Hope so. Spurrier's best stuff is superb. Trade Paper Dad says, favorite comic book movie is Blade 1 and 2. And those are the only Blade movies they ever did. Hey, what's up, Ganja Bars Medium? Station, y'all. Cast your votes for PCP, best comic channel out there. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I need some booberry. OUG, if you were here, we would hang out tonight and we would have some booberry because I have an unopened box of booberry. Thank you, Jay. Jay says, Robbie, your hair is in a tier of its own. Thank you. I appreciate that, homie. Why are they not releasing the variant cover at the same time as the A covers, messing up my pre-order cutoff dates? I have no idea about that. Trade Paper Dad says, third favorite comic book movie is Logan. Logan's a good one. Good one. Dynamite says, I nominated you for review. You got me into Dream Master. You get my vote. Well, station. Let Jonathan Hedrick know that. Sweet Mimosa says, and thank you for convincing me to finally crack open Alienated. Hell yeah. Vote Robbie for best hands. I don't know about best hands, but best hair. I definitely don't have the best beard. And I know I'm not very Gary. But I think me and Tom, outside of very Gary, I think me and Tom have the best hair in this whole thing. I just want to be nominated for best hair. I was like, what's the effort? Why did I take off my hat this year if not to get best hair? Robbie, what are your 2 or 3 of your top Rick Remender books? Ooh, okay. Rick Remender. Number 1, Deadly Class. Love Deadly Class. Never finished it, though. I need to finish it. Deadly Class, Uncanny X-Force. Uncanny X-Force is really, really good. Honorable mention to his Captain America run with John Romita Jr. Mostly the beginning stuff, the Dimension Z stuff, I thought was really cool. This stuff with Sam was decent, too, but the beginning of that, very sci-fi, 70s Kirby kind of approach to Captain America that I really appreciated. What else? Rick Remender. Deadly Class, Uncanny X-Force, Black Science. Yeah, I'd go that. Deadly Class, Uncanny X-Force, Black Science. I'd love to see Robbie react to his very first stream. Oh my goodness. That's a good idea, Jay. Woo, that would be something. Hey everybody, I'm Rockin Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Robbie Rants Live. And do you know, I'm just waiting on somebody to show up in the fucking chat room. That would be fun. I've never read Fear Agent. I hear a lot of good stuff about that one, though. I've never read it, so I can't speak on that one. Sleepy Reader, there's Damien Station. Hey, Damien, what's your favorite Rick Remender book? I went with Deadly Class, Uncanny X-Force, Black Science, Captain America. Love his Captain America run with John Romita Jr. That stuff in particular. I'm 41 years old. Y'all are young'uns. I just turned 42 last week. Why is there not a cannabis character yet? This could be a great hero villain. Why is there not a cannabis character yet? Okay, first of all, check out a Joe Casey book called Bounce. Check that out. That's a good one. And we're going to pause real quick for station identification because I want to show you something. You want a cannabis superhero? You just wait for me to find that button. All right, you're wanting a cannabis marijuana-centric superhero? I said check out Joe Casey's Bounce. But also, if you are a fan of cannabis, marijuana, whatever, you need to own this book in your collection. This is Marijuana Man. Now, this is co-written by Joe Casey with art by Jim Mahfood, but it's also created by Ziggy Marley. So it's Joe Casey, one of my favorite writers, Jim Mahfood, one of my favorite artists, and Ziggy fucking Marley doing Marijuana Man. Big oversized book. Amazing artwork. Wild, rambunctious story that was created by Ziggy Marley, Jim Mahfood, and Joe Casey. You can still get this. It's from Image, $24.99. Yeah. Yep. Y'all need to get this book. And the book is so freaking cool. And this one in particular, because I love me some Jim Mahfood. And look at that nice remark I got from the man himself right there. So yeah. And I asked him about this book. And I was like, so what was it like? Like meeting Ziggy Marley, and shit. And he goes, man, they're just such cool, chill people, they're just so cool. And he looked at me, he goes, I mean, they're high all the time. Politicians fighting to stop I from lighting, but in reality, we'll smoke the tree in the flow. In the flow. Yes, he did Girl Scouts. That's his jam. Like Jim Mahfood's number one thing is Girl Scouts. I fucking love Girl Scouts. I'm a huge Jim Mahfood mark. Like I got other stuff from Jim Mahfood signed, including Girl Scouts. I can show all that stuff off at another time, but hell yeah. Who would like to see me do a live stream one day of me reacting to my first live stream? That would be like providing a commentary. That'd be a fun thing. Maybe one of the off weeks for Rockin Robbie Live, we can do that instead. That'd be fun. Not into marijuana, so I'll puff pass. Dwayne's a pain. You don't have to be into marijuana to enjoy a great badass underground comic book. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And it's just a great hardcover, too. How's it smell? Let's do the sniff test. Another thing that Joe Casey and Jim Mahfood worked on together, I think it was Joe Casey. Yes, it was. The Miami Vice remix. They did a Miami Vice book together. I would love to have Joe Casey on the channel. It almost happened one time last year, but it fell through. This might not be exactly what you're asking for, but Pat Shand has a book called Smoke Weed, See the Future. Oh, cool. Pat Shand's a cool dude. I've seen him on Perry's channel before. Oh, yeah, I got the Blunt Man and Chronic stuff, too. Oh, it's out there now, isn't it? Yeah, it's out there now. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, in the flow. Yeah. I was going to write a comic until I got high. Sleepy Reader says, Uncanny X-Force or the recent Vengeance book. Oh, yeah. What was that book called? Something like it wasn't the Rite of Vengeance or the Path of Vengeance? What was it? I can't remember it now. Someone will remember me. Or for me. Politicians fighting to stop me from lighting in the flow. Ziggy Marley. It was on the Hempilation 2 album. Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, In the Flow. Y'all need to listen to that one. That's a good song. Gets me going. I was listening to it the other day, actually. All right, asking about the reacting to the first stream. Evil Face Bad says, me. Damien says, I would love that reaction to yourself idea. Oh, thank you, Billy. Two Gun says, I'd watch you react to your very first video. Bobby says, I didn't smoke for 11 years, and then I turned 12. What's up, Atari? How you doing? OUG says, I haven't read it yet, but isn't Dirtbag Rapture involving weed a little? Well, I haven't read that one, so I don't know. Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. That's what it is. Thank you. Jacques says, Robbie, would you ever consider doing a collection video? Yes, I have considered it for years. In fact, my buddies over at Go Figure Reviews are doing house tours now, room tours, collection tours, stuff like that, right? And obviously they've asked me to do one, and I got to get a lot of shit. I got to get this shit straightened out. So I've been selling stuff actually lately. I'm in the process of selling all of my Funko Pops. So I'm almost out of my Funko Pops are almost completely gone. Almost completely gone. And I'm rather excited for that. Another thing I'm very excited for is one of our favorite segments here. Is when we go back, how far back in time to the 90s. Tonight, it's time for Marvel in the 90s. And today we're talking about New Mutants 97. This is the issue before the debut of Deadpool. Now, the whole reason why we're doing Extinction Agenda is because I was doing a read-through of Rob Liefeld's New Mutants. And you can't do that without getting stopped by Extinction Agenda. And that's exactly what happens here. In the previous 2 chapters of New Mutants integration into Extinction Agenda, Rob Liefeld was only giving like layouts. In this one, he does nothing but the cover. Cover is awesome. Is there a Cable and Wolverine team up in this book? Not at all. And it's one of the most boring chapters of Extinction Agenda yet, especially coming off of X-Men, 270, whatever it was. I think it was 272. Great Jim Lee artwork. We go to this boring stuff, and it's just all right. So let's just kind of go through it. So the X-Men are sitting there. Storm has just reawakened. She started activating certain members of the X-Men's powers again. They're trying to go against Cameron Hodge. He's talking shit to Cyclops. Cyclops is talking shit to him. He's like, Storm, activate Jean's powers. He's throwing his thing. This is an example of what is supposed to be a dynamic double-page spread. Bruh, this is some weak-ass shit. Let's be honest, man. Say what you will about Rob Liefeld. This page would be a lot more kinetic if Rob had laid it out. Instead, it's very boring. It's very boring. Look how stiff Cyclops looks there. Now, I just don't want to trash on this book. But honestly, guys, it's not very good. So Storm and Jean, they go after Cameron. So this is just, they're going after Cameron Hodge. He's got this phasing power. He's doing his whole thing. Then a bomb goes off. And he goes, my lab. He freaks out. He runs away. Cyclops is like, Forge's bomb that he left must have just... See, this is a problem, too. Is that there are a lot of convenient things that would happen in comics back then, where it was like, they really are just going as they go. And you get that vibe and you get that feeling. Then we cut to Jubilee and Boom Boom and Richter. 2 of my favorite X-Men right there, Jubilee and Boom Boom. Love me some Juby and some Boom Boom. Juby Boom Boom. But they're still doing their thing. They're powerless except for Jubilee. And they're trying to find the Gene Engineer. They're trying to get the powers back from Wipeout for Richter and for Boom Boom. And, of course, meet up with the other X-Men. All that kind of stuff. They come across Cameron Hodge. He's doing his thing. What is even going on? I read this shit today. Now, granted, I read it before I went to the pool. But I read it and I was like, this is a chore to get through, y'all. It's a chore to get through. So basically, Cameron Hodge talking some more shit, okay? Forge wakes up. Cyclops is like, yo, your bomb scared Hodge away. He's not dead. We haven't defeated him, but he's there. And then Storm shows up. She's like, yep, I'm a full-grown adult woman, and I got all my memories back. So they have their little kissing moment, and then Gambit over there in the corner, like, I do not like this, mon ami. It's so fucking weird. So they're talking about the whole idea that this magistrate woman knew that if Storm touched these other mutants, they would get their powers back. It's like, why? Like, it's something that the Gene Engineer put in there, because the whole idea is that the Gene Engineer is a true Genosian patriot and understands that Cameron Hodge is going to destroy this country, right? And so they're focused in on that, and that's what's going on. And it's just, like I said, it's just like, you can tell they're just making this shit up as they go. There's not really that much thought, because this entire story, Extinction Agenda, 9 parts, This should have been a 3-issue arc, maybe 5, but it has been stretched very thin. Very thin. Okay, then we're going to go to Rain, Wolfsbane. She has her mind's wiped as well, but then we find out that she actually only had her mind partially wiped. She still has access to her brain, and then they eventually cure her, and the way that they do that is when she turns to wolf form, she regains all of her personality, but when she goes back to human form, it's going to be gone, right? And she's going to be a mutate again. So now she has to either go full-on werewolf or be this like halfway in between. So that's the Rain that I knew when I first started reading things like X Factor and stuff that she popped in. But her and her relationship with Richter is already now on shaky ground because she's coming at. There's a different dynamic there, and we've all been there. And sometimes you have a connection, and you lose a connection, and it seems like you can't quite get it back, and it can be heartbreaking. Then we got Banshee. Cameron Hodge goes and finds the rest of the X-Men who have not been their powers brought back. Or no, their powers are brought back because they're trying to get rid of them. Anyway, Cameron Hodge comes back down. He's talking more shit. The X-Men are trying to fight, but they can't do anything against him. In fact, actually, to be honest, the most dynamic panel in this whole book is that Beast down there. It's like breaking the panel. And then like, look at Force. Like, that's a cool idea, but like, why is the biggest moment of impact, which is the gun blast, off fucking page? Whatever. So Cameron's talking shit. Rain's crying. The Engineer's like, yeah, Wipeout's dead. We can't get your powers back, except for Storm can just touch them and get their powers back, I guess. And just kind of does. Like, guys, I'm not really into this issue at all. Like, this was a chore. Like, the New Mutants issues have been a chore. This one's the worst because we don't even have the Rob Liefeld fucking layouts. Like, there's nothing exciting. And if you look at the coloring, it's all just pink and magenta. Boom Boom gets her powers back. Everybody gets their powers back. They start talking shit to Cameron Hodge. Cameron Hodge is talking shit to them. Cannonball's like, oh, I'm Southern, and I'm gonna be immortal while I'm blasting, and all this stuff. And man, it just, basically this whole thing is this. Everybody now is teaming up against Cameron Hodge, and that's the whole point of this fucking book. And it's got boring art. It's got not so good coloring. It's got a lot of melodrama. They're crying. They're yelling at each other. This was just not good. This was not good. So I've been reading it in my Extinction Agenda trade paperback. I don't have this original issue. The coloring is different in this. The coloring is different. If you notice in the original scans, which I was showing there from the newsprint, it's very washed out, like pink, purple, magenta. You don't really, there's that very fucking dynamic figure of Cyclops. Jesus, what the hell? The coloring's way different. So I don't know if they recolored it or if they had to have recolored it because those colors are not even here. All those magentas, all those purples. Now, I would like to see them there. I think that they could really work here. But it's not present here, and this just kind of looks boring too. But look at the difference. So there's page 1. Yeah, it's totally different coloring. This was recolored. Look at that. So that's interesting. This was recolored for the trade paperback. And this might be the first trade paperback they did of it. It's $25, but it is 9 issues. When did this come out? 1992, first printing. Yep, there you go. So anyway, X-Men or New Mutants 97. It's not a Rob Liefeld issue. And it sucks because of it, honestly. Really does. So I'll give this one 2 ya digs because they made a comic and I know that that's hard. But anyway, what do you think? This has been your segment of Marvel in the 90s. All right. Cameron Hodge was trying to make Genosha great again. Damien says the color is very weird, as if the colorist was too lazy to open up all the pen caps. Jesus. They're like, I'm running out of Doc Martin dyes over here. Wait, isn't Richter gay now? I guess Rain wasn't hairy enough. Richter is gay now, but plenty of people that I personally know have not really truly discovered their sexuality till later in their life. Every time Robbie says boom, boom, let me hear you say, way-oh. Yeah, but Rob Liefeld didn't do this issue of New Mutants. That's why it's not so good. Oh, I'm not selling my Funkos on any platform. I've been selling them to my shop. I get really great deals on collectibles and shit from my shop that I work at, so whenever I sell something, I usually just turn it back there. Mike always hooks me up, gives me a good fair price, and we can recoup money and the store can make money. But if you're interested, I got a Troy Aikman pop that I'm about to sell that I found out is actually worth some fucking money. And in fact, one of the most expensive pops I have right now is my Tony fucking Romo pop. And I'm glad it never broke. Because that was the joke. Get it? Be careful with your Tony Romo pop because it breaks easily. No? Anybody get that? All right. They tend to say it's like the artist would have wanted for the book and that newsprint cost and fading. It's even a bigger deal in digital. Recoloring is an issue. Scarphead, here's the thing. Jose Villanueva or whatever his name is, he's the guy who recolored Bernie Wrightson's Swamp Thing recently for the Absolute Edition that I want to get so bad. I follow him on Facebook. That is a dude who understands. Yes, newsprint, the newsprint has a fading issue. Obviously, it has a printing issue. However, those colorists knew that they were coloring for newsprint. So they knew what levels of saturation shit. That's why when you get a lot of those recolored or just brought out, it looks very gaudy because it doesn't take into effect the absorption of the paper. This Jose dude understands this, and he needs to be in charge of recoloring every trade paperback of old material for Marvel and DC and anybody else. Right now, he's recoloring the Richard Corbin library, and I've been following along on that on his socials. Holy cow, it's so freaking good. That's cold, Robbie, and I ain't even a Cowboys fan. I am a Cowboys fan, so I can say that. Wouldn't trust the Romo Pop to hold an extra point either. Hell yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I got a lot of cool stuff for my birthday. I want to show it off. So we'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's
pop culture philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Billups. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, follow us there. We're also on Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. Lots of ways to save money. All those links and more, including links to merch, in the description below. If you want to help support the channel, the way to do that is patreon.com/PCP. You can join our community there, or with a super chat. Now, we've already had one Hellboy song tonight, but I know I could do better, y'all. I really know I could do better. And I want to give a special shout out to these PCP patrons right there. All right. Coming up here on the channel, tomorrow night, PCP movie night. Brooks's Cruise choice pick is Once Upon a Time in the West, from a story by Dario Argento, directed by Sergio Leone. I absolutely love this movie. Very excited to chat about it. But before that, check out Scarpad's Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about aliens. And Scarpad, you got a fuzzy thumbnail, bro. Got a fuzzy thumbnail. You might want to fix that. And tonight they're going to be talking about Shoot 'Em Up, which is a really good movie. And I hope you guys talk about the Bugs Bunny Elmer Fudd aspect of it. You better. And then Saturday on Dylan's Horror Show, check them out as they discuss demons. My next appearance on Dylan's Horror Show will be at the end of June for a much underappreciated George Romero film. So I'm very excited for that. The Robbie impersonator, the faux Robbie as we like to call him, is my buddy Davey, who's one of my employees at my comic shop. And he did a really great job this week, and I just wanted to let everybody know that. All right. Last week was my birthday. I had a great birthday. We went out to Twin Peaks because that's become a PCP tradition. Had some of my closest friends there with me, people that were very important to me. And we drank, we ate, we had merriment. It was a really, really good, night. It was a really good night. My week, I'll be honest, my last couple weeks have been, solid, but different. Let's just say that. And things are good. And sounds like I'm trying to convince myself that things are good. Things are good. But I had a great birthday. A lot of people that I love spending time with me, sharing their Robbie Day offerings with me. It's been a good couple weeks. So I wanted to show off my birthday presents. And we're going to kick it off with some stuff from Mike. So I showed this off for my Figgy Friday. This is awesome. I always thought this was a legend. So I collect Kenner's superpower action figures from the 80s because they were some of the first toys that I loved when I was a kid. There's a character called Golden Pharaoh. This is a very rare, hard to find late series superpowers figure. And Mike got me one complete. How fucking cool is that, y'all? So, Golden Pharaoh. But he didn't stop there. Mike also got me. It's not complete. But man, I've never seen one of these in person. He got me a Desaad Superpowers action figure. How fucking cool is that? Desaad. He also got me a bunch of snacks and shit that I will be taste testing on Rockin Robbie Lives and on IG. So, pay attention to that space. And yesterday, he hooked me up with this and gifted me this. That is the Spawn animated action figure. There was a series of Spawn figures where they were like different versions of Spawn, and one of them was an animated Bruce Timm inspired one. So now I got that, which is awesome. Look how huge it is. That thing's honking. It's big. All right, got some Blu-rays here. John Hammer Time Holshoe got me a couple of Blu-rays. The Hidden Fortress, Kurosawa film, and The Complete Lady Snowblood. Never seen this. Love this. Talking about Star Wars earlier. Big inspiration to Star Wars right there. So yes, Kurosawa. And we'll be talking about a Kurosawa film next week on PCP Movie Night for Brian's pick for Crew's Choice, Throne of Blood. All right, from friends of the show, Choco's 26 and his lady. I got Phantom of the Opera. It's the stage production, like 25th anniversary or something. Yeah, 25th anniversary. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because I was talking about how this is my favorite MCU film. 2 weeks ago, I was talking about this, but I didn't actually own it. So they picked it up for me. And how cool is that? Bobby says, my boy had a strain called Golden Pharaoh. One hit and you was mummified. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. This was my birthday gift to myself because this finally came out on Blu-ray for the first time ever. It's Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout. That's right, Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout. Finally available. This is not a movie. It's like, what is this? This is Linnea Quigley doing like okay, so like, this is kind of like Scream Queen Hot Tub Party, which I have that on DVD. So what this is there's a very saucy scene with Linnea at first, like stripping down and doing her thing. She's working out, right? You know, and all that shit. She's nude. Because that's Linnea. And then her and other Scream Queens get together and they're having like a little slumber party thing. And because everybody was doing this and they're showing clips of their movies and they're talking about it. So it's just, if you're a fan of like 80s horror and Scream Queens, 80s Scream Queens, especially like 80s Scream Queens that weren't afraid to. Anyway, what am I trying to say? This is a good one. This is good. It's not, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like super sexy. It's not porn or nothing like that. But I'm very pleased to finally have this on HD. And then at the end, they do the aerobics with zombies and they jump in a pool. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing. All right. Let's see here. From my boy, James Donahoe, hooked me up with Do the Right Thing on Criterion Blu-ray. Fuck yeah. Very excited for that. My buddy Blake, we just call him BGs, said, I want you to read some good manga. So he got me Pluto, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is from Urasawa, right? Yeah, Urasawa, who John Lees has talked about on this channel a lot, with 20th Century Boys in particular. Brian's a big fan. BGs is a big fan. And he said Pluto was amazing, so he got me book 1 and 2 of Pluto for me to check out. Speaking of Brian, he'll me up with a copy of Batman Black and White, because there's a lot of cool artists on here, including Mobius, Bill Sienkiewicz, Mark Silvestri, Walt Simonson, and Katsuhiro Otomo, which I forgot about. So that's cool. It's cool. Thank you, Brian. Brian also got me this really cool Love and Rockets mask that they did at some point for like an anniversary. Yeah, 40th anniversary. I think it's cool. It's cool, something cool to hang up on the wall. He also, so we had Nathan Zerdy was at our Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo this year. And, I showed y'all my stuff that I got from him and The Bride of Frankenstein. But Brian bought this for me from him. So it's a Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer and Galactus by Nathan Zerdy, signed personally to me. You ready for it? With a Silver Surfer remark. Look at that. How cool is that? Thank you, Brian. See how everybody loves me? Jelani hooked me up with this. Donatello as the Invisible Man. NECA action figure. Hell yeah. That's dope. And, finally, my boy Brooks got me this giant Michelangelo recreation of the original 1990 whatever the hell giant turtle. He knows Michelangelo's my favorite. So he picked me up that. So those are all my pop culture centric birthday presents that I got from some of my closest friends. Thank you all so much. And everybody that sent me something. There was other things that were sent to me before. There were things that other friends of mine got me that maybe not quite appropriate. Like I don't need to show you a whole new bedroom headboard or like a meditation stone or some shit like that. But I got other things from other people that are very important to me as well. So it was a really great birthday. Had a great time. Things have been up and down, but things are really solid right now. Yeah, those Batman black and whites. Now I feel bad because I think I have this in hardcover. I need to double check, but where's the Katsuhiro joint? Where's the Atomo one? Jerry Gianni, Brian Ballin. Oh, so good. Where the hell is it? Alex Toth. There it is, 213. He knows that I'm a big Otomo fan. So in particular, he wanted me to make sure I had this. If you don't know who Otomo is, he's one of the greatest comic book artists of all time, and he did Akira. Maybe we should go through these someday on the channel. That'd be cool. That's dope shit. Look at that texture. Woo! Now, I don't have the single issues, Zach. I don't keep many of my single issues. I keep my Fantastic Four stuff. And I mean, obviously, I keep some. I got a lot over there, but no, I don't have the single issues. I think I have the hardcover. I think I got like a big hardcover, but maybe it's a volume 2 or something. Fuck it. We're taking station identification. We're going to go see what I got. All right. So here is the version I have, which is actually a paperback, but it's a bigger one. See the size comparison. But yeah, and that's the Toth cover right there. So let me find that. Yep, there's the Otomo story right there. So I guess that's an extra one. Maybe we should give that away or something. Look at that stuff. Heck yeah. And the hardcover I got is Volume 2. Volume 2 is like the black and white stuff reprinted from like Batman Gotham Knights, I believe. And it's big as well. Because we knew that this was bigger, and the hardcover is a little bit bigger than that. So yeah, we got Mike Mignola. This is a hardcover, and it's a little bit bigger. There's Tim Sale right there, for instance. So these were the ones that, like, there were a bunch of, like, Batman black and whites. Oh, yeah, there's Paul Pope. There's a bunch of Batman black and whites at the back of, like, Batman Gotham Knights or something for a while, and I think this collects all of those. Is that Joe Kubert or is that John Buscema? John Buscema. Holy shit. How freaking cool is that? So yeah. There you go. All right, and now it's time for your Final Five. All right, we're just going to show the rest of this Mark Spears monster cards. Princess Langwildair, Headless Woman. Hey, Harry Houdini. There's the Malefactor. That looks like his Jason / Hatchet. Oh, King Kong. These are dope cards. Patch. I guess that's supposed to be Snake Plissken. Then you got Dracula versus the Hunter, the Van Helsing character. A werewolf character. Oh, this is nice. This feels very old school. Look at that. The Hell Hunters. Another one of those old cardboardy feeling retro cards. A black and white one of the Frankenstein monster. A black and white one of Madame Blackwood. This is a whole universe that he's like created based on other ideas, but he's got some ideas to do with it. Oh, here we go. Anybody fans of Westworld? Yul Brynner? Yeah? Look at that. Drax Hot Rod. Slam through the ditches and bam, in the back of my... Same card we saw earlier, but this is a different version of it. And, oh, check this out. He has special Night of the Living Dead inserts. They're coming for you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara. Look, there's one of them now. Stop it. Johnny, stop it. You're ignorant. Anyway, y'all go give Mark Spears a follow on Twitter and on Instagram and tell him PCP sent you. Hey, Spilio, what is up, my man? How you doing? Yeah, too bad it's almost been a year that Tim Sales passed away, Jacques. Spilio says, Station Robbie, station everyone. Came in late on vacation, needed my Rockin Robbie itch. Well, we are about to be wrapping up. Unfortunately, cutting it short tonight. But we've had a lot of fun already. I think it slammed through the ditches, right? And burned through the witches? I don't know what I said, OUG. It's a robot. So to me, it's like Westworld. That's the vibe I was getting immediately was Westworld. Yeah, because it's Robot Man. So I think it's more of a Westworld reference, but you know, could be whatever. I guess I gotta ask Mark. All right, so we got a great idea tonight. We're going to be reacting to my very first live stream at some point in the future. Seems like a good idea. We did the DC sneak peek. We did Marvel in the 90s. We did show and tell. We had some great times, some great conversation. Station, y'all. It's been great. Do not forget to check us out tomorrow for Once Upon a Time in the West. That's Brooks's pick for Crew's Choice. Right before that, Aliens on Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. Tonight, right after this show, they're going to be talking about Shoot 'em Up. So check that out. And on Dylan's Horror Show, Demons by Lamberto Bava. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. We're dipping out. On behalf of everybody here at PCP, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And station, pop, pop, boom.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? Oh
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. Post credits, and yes, R.I.P. David Hatch. They wanna say my name, but they hold it back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do this fact. I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right of fuel's got me hazy. About to unpack all these dreams. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I feel the seeds as I spread with every word that I said. How's it supposed to feel? Everybody, how's it supposed to feel? Feels like it's supposed to sound better. Well, fuck you too, Steph. All right, y'all. So 2 weeks ago, we did the hot mustard flavored Doritos. And I mentioned there were ketchup flavored. Now, I hate ketchup, but I love mustard. And I hated the mustard Doritos. What am I going to think about the ketchup one? So station to Mike for hooking me up with these ketchup flavored Doritos. It's probably going to be really gross. Whoa! Yeah, I fucking hate ketchup. Okay, here we go. No. Whoa. It's rough. It's rough. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. Oh, that's so gross. Oh, that's so gross. It's so fucking gross. It's so fucking sweet. It's so sweet. It's so gross. I'm going to try another one just to make sure. No. Get them out of here. It's gross. One you dig. They made a fucking chip. It tastes like ketchup. It's gross. It's gross. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so gross. I don't even want to. I always eat this second chip. Oh. I have you dig. That shit sucks. Ugh. Shit's fucking nasty. All right, those fucking ketchup chips. This is some of the worst things I've ever eaten here on this channel. Okay, so I have to follow it up with something I like. So how y'all doing out there? We've got a few minutes. If you want to chat, just hang out, smoke, drink with me. Let's do that. What do you want to talk about, y'all? After I finish this, I'm going to try something that I've been actually anticipating. It's a Serenata Tripolo. I don't know what country this is from. Russia? Oh, no, it's a candy bar. It's a pistachio nut bar. Now, nut bar. I was chatting with Mike, and I was like, get all these candy bars with peanuts in them, some candy bars with almonds in them, pecans. It's like, you know what I'm a big fan of? Pistachios. Why is there not a candy bar with pistachios? He goes, there is. And he hooked me up on Robbie Week with these. So we're definitely going to get them. Mary, Chocos, what's up? Thank you so much for the gifts. I was showing them off. Let me move those out of the way. Thank you so much. They're here. They're safe. They mean so much to me. Sing once again, my love, with me, our sweet duet. My power over you grows stronger yet. And though you turn from me to glance behind, the Phantom of the Opera is here inside your mind. The Phantom of the Opera. Fuck yeah. Fucking love that shit. Masquerade, paper faces on parade. Masquerade, hide your face so the world will never find you. All right, show tune time. What show tunes do you want? Do I know them? I probably don't. Very limited number of show tunes I'm really into. By show tunes, I mean musical numbers. Cause my heart's keeping time to the speed of sound. I was lost till I heard the drums, then I found my way. Cause you can't stop the beat. There's one I like. I like Hairspray. Y'all, them ketchup chips were so fucking gross. It's some of the worst things I've ever had on this entire... It's so terrible. So terrible. Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. In fact, I'll say this. My favorite iteration of the Phantom of the Opera, and I love the Lon Chaney version, and I love the Claude Rains version. But man, there was something very special to me about this musical right here. First of all, iconic. Being a kid in the 80s growing up, this is iconic as iconic as Cats for me, right? Like, this was all over the fucking place. And Sarah Brightman. We just talked about Sarah Brightman on this channel because she was a part of Repo, the Genetic Opera, which I adore so much that I want to sing it now. But Sarah Brightman is a fucking voice to be reckoned with. She's a woman to be reckoned with. I fucking adore Sarah Brightman. If anybody ever has shit to say about Sarah Brightman, I will defend her. I will fight for her. I'm just going to say. My cat, Creamsicle, passed away a couple years ago, was a big Sarah Brightman fan. And Creamsicle was known to be a very charismatic cat, but a calming influence Sarah Brightman had on him, and especially her cover. You can find it on YouTube. Sarah Brightman covering live Scarborough Fair, the Simon and Garfunkel joint. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember, he once was a true love of mine. Good shit. Yeah, I'm not a big Bobby. I like West Side Story enough, but I need to. I haven't. Have you seen the Spielberg one? Is it good? Phantom of the Paradise. Yeah, good one. I haven't heard the Queensryche version, but I have heard Nightwish do it, and I fucking love Nightwish doing Phantom of the Opera. Back to Repo the Genetic Opera. Where did our daughter go? It's me she must escape. My burdens I can't erase. Her mother I might have saved. Oh, Money, I need you now. Look what I've become. The nightmare that she should fear is the father you left alone. Years roll by without you, money. 17 have come and gone. I raised our Shiloh with the best intentions. But there is something I can tell her. I am lost without you here. I am only living out a lie. Shiloh can never leave. She is my everything. Nothing can bring you back. Shiloh is all I have. The years roll by without you, money. 17 have come and gone. I raised our Shiloh with the best intentions. But there is something I can't tell her. I am lost without you here. I am only living out a lie. I'm the monster. I'm the villain. What perfection! What precision! Clean incisions I deliver, unscathed organs I deliver. I'm the Repo Legal. I'm the Repo Legal assassin! All right, that's good enough. That's good enough. Man, I was feeling that, man. I was feeling it. I was feeling it. The years roll by without you, money. 17 have come and gone. I love singing, y'all. I fucking love singing. I wish I could sing. Like, I really, like, I know everybody's like, oh, Robbie. No, y'all know, and I know that I'm not there, okay? I wish I was, and that would be fucking awesome, because I love singing. What do I want to sing now? Let's see. That's a good one. Years roll by without you, money. The 17 have come and gone. I'm back and Robbie's smoking a joint. Hell yeah. Pear, we got to start the Cannabis and Comics show, man. That's what we got to do. Get that red Spidey burger, Joel. It's actually not red dye. It's beet juice. Yeah, I heard about that. Okay, so the Spider-Man Whopper or whatever. You ain't going to fool me. That's just a fucking Whopper with Swiss cheese, and Swiss cheese is garbage, okay? So there you go. Sorry. I slap at the bass, man. Fuck, Barry. Let's do that then. Monthly. Maybe just whenever the fuck we feel like it. Not month. We don't need to have a schedule. Dude, Anthony Head did kill it in that movie. Fucking for real. What's another good one? Zydrate Anatomy. That's a great one. Everybody remembers that one. Let's go to another musical. Let's see. Ooh. Is nobody expecting post credits to be fucking Robbie singing goddamn musicals? All right, anybody like Mel Brooks? You're looking at the man who used to be the king. The king of old Broadway, the best of everything was mine to have each day. I always had the biggest hits, the biggest bathrooms at the Ritz. My showgirls had the biggest hits. I never was the pits in every way. We believe you, thousands wouldn't. We believe you, every word. We believe you, thousands couldn't. We believe each word we've heard. I used to be the king, the king of old Broadway. My praises they would sing. A zeitgeist, so they'd say. Ziegfeld, fuck! I read it wrong, I'm sorry. My shows were always filled with class. My best champagne would fill my glass. My lap was filled with gorgeous sash. You wouldn't call me crass in any way. Okay, I lost it when I fucked up that whole thing. Anyway. I fucking love the producers. And I've seen it on stage, not on Broadway, but I've seen it on stage. And King of Broadway, that's like my favorite fucking jam. Now, in the movie musical, not the original producers movie, but the movie based on the musical that was based on the movie of the producers. And if that's not a fucking Mel Brooksism, I don't know one. They delete King of Broadway because all that information is given later. Man, that sucks because that starts the fucking show, right? That like King of Broadway, that song, yeah, I love the producer. Keep it snappy, keep it happy, keep it gay. Yeah, fuck yeah, it's awesome. What else we got? What are we pulling out? What are we pulling out? Okay, fuck the lyrics, because that fucked me up. I said zeitgeist instead of Ziegfeld. All right, anyway. Let's see. What are we doing? What we doing? This one always goes into, like, this one always pops in my head. How do you document real life when real life's getting more like fiction each day? Headlines, breadlines blow my mind, and now this deadline, eviction or pay. Rent. How do you write a song when the chords sound wrong, though they once sounded right and rare? Well, the notes are power. Where is the power you once had to ignite the air? We're hungry and frozen, some life that we've chosen. How are we gonna pay? How are we gonna pay? How are we gonna pay last year's rent? We light candles. How does the next bit fucking start? How do you start a fire when there's nothing to burn, but it feels like something's stuck in your flue? How can you generate heat when you can't feel your feet and you're turning blue? You light up a mean flame of posters and screenplays. How are we gonna pay? How are we gonna... Yeah, that's from Rent. It's from Rent. I used to be the king. What the fuck is going on? Rockin Robbie is officially off the rails. All right. I like that alliteration. Nice alliteration. Producers. All right. You, sir, too, sir. How about a shave? Come and visit your good friend Sweeney. My friends. Bum, bum. Good morning, Baltimore. Anyway, we're going to try this pistachio nut bar. All right. Boom. Pistachios, chocolate. I mean, it can't go wrong, right? There's crunch. There's a wafer. Mmm. 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 Pistachio. Okay. Yep. What the fuck is in this? All right. There's some kind of filling. So there's a wafer in there, and that's nice. There are pistachios in there, but not a lot. Pistachio is a very expensive nut. It's a very expensive nut. But there's some kind of like cream in there, and there's way too much chocolate, oddly enough. It's like there's more soft over crunch. Texture-wise, kind of failed me. I want more crunch over the soft. That's just me. That's just me. That being said, it's not bad. It's okay. It's milk chocolate. It's fine. Pistachios are in there. It is fucking sweet as shit. So, like, aside from some pineapple this week, I have not had any sweets. Aside from, like, some pineapple. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, some pineapple. I had some, like, nerd rope clusters, like, earlier in the week. That was really fucking sweet. It tastes good. But there's a off balance with the texture. And so for me, I would say it's a 3 ya digs. 3. You made a candy bar. Doesn't taste bad. You got a good idea. Could just be refined a little. So there you go. What's the verdict? Waiting for the ya digs rating. It's killing me. Okay. You've never seen someone review a candy bar with so much. These ketchup Doritos are the fucking worst chips I've ever had. I would throwing those the fuck away. Thank you, Mike. I'm sorry. We're wasting food, but this isn't food. Jesus. We're going to end with this. I think they meant it when they said you can't buy love, but now learn you can rent it. A new lease, you are my love. Online, be my life. Oh, I've longed to discover something as true as this is. Why did I pick this song? Oh, with 1,000 sweet kisses, oh, I'll cover you with 1,000 sweet... All right, we're dipping out. Thank you all so much. We love you. Station. Pop, pop. Dude, Doritos ketchup chips suck. Don't eat those. Boom.